The F-35 is no longer the inevitable future of Western air power. That single stark reality is what the world woke up to this morning. For years, the F-35 program was seen as the only game in town. It was the designated heir to NATO's skies, a unifying platform meant to bind allies together through shared technology and shared logistics. Washington pushed it hard. Defense contractors lauded its stealth and praised its sensor fusion. Yet, Canada just said no. The decision to reject the American fifth-generation fighter and instead purchase a Swedish jet has sent a seismic shockwave through the Pentagon and through Allied capitals. It is a quiet but firm declaration of independence. This move is not just about airplanes. It signals a fundamental shift in how a key U.S. ally views its own sovereignty, its industrial base, and its relationship with its powerful neighbor to the south. The Canadian government, after a protracted and politically charged competition, has officially selected the Saab Gripen E as the new fighter for the Royal Canadian Air Force. This decision concludes a saga that spanned more than a decade and endured intense lobbying from the world's largest defense corporations. The choice is a deliberate pivot away from the American-led defense ecosystem, a bet on a different kind of capability and on a different kind of partnership. What Ottawa has done is prioritize its own specific needs over the collective momentum of the F-35 consortium. The Gripen is a capable, modern 4.5 generation fighter, but it is not the F-35. It does not have the same stealth characteristics. It does not plug into the same vast US-centric data network that the Pentagon has been building for 20 years. Instead, it offers affordability, ease of maintenance, and significant industrial benefits tailored specifically for Canada. It's a pragmatic choice, a business decision, and a political statement, and its effects will be felt for decades to come. The immediate aftermath is a stunned silence from Washington. The Pentagon has spent billions ensuring its allies were locked into the F-35 supply chain. The program was designed to be sticky, creating a dependency that would ensure interoperability and, not coincidentally, a steady stream of revenue for the American defense industry. Canada's choice to walk away from this pre-packaged future is a direct challenge to that strategy. It tells other nations that there are viable alternatives. It suggests that the high cost and the operational complexities of the F-35 might not be the only path forward. Comparing the Gripen E to the F-35 is not a simple exercise of good versus bad. It is about different philosophies of air power. The F-35 is built around stealth. It can penetrate heavily defended airspace undetected. It gathers intelligence with powerful sensors. It can engage targets before the enemy knows. A flying supercomputer, the central node in a networked allied force. But it comes at a very high price: purchase and sustainment. It needs extensive, specialized infrastructure. The Gripen E is a 4.5 generation fighter, not stealth like the F-35. Instead, it emphasizes speed, agility, electronic warfare. It uses jammers and countermeasures to blind enemy sensors, designed for extreme operational efficiency. It can take off and land on short, in sections of a highway. It can be refueled quickly and re-armed by a small crew in minutes, ideal for dispersed operations in places like the Canadian Arctic. Supply chains diverge, a critical difference. The F-35 program is a Pentagon-Lockheed managed global enterprise. Parts, software updates, maintenance protocols, all tightly controlled from the U.S. The Gripen breaks that mold. Saab controls the platform, more autonomy than Canada, more control over supply chain, software, and IP. With the F-35, Canada would get seamless interoperability with U.S. and key NATO allies. With the Gripen, seamlessness is reduced, but independence and lower cost increase, a calculated risk. The agreement signed last week is both massive and precise. The government of Canada has committed to release 8 Saab Gripen E fighters. The deal, valued at approximately $19 billion Canadian dollars, covers not just the aircraft, but a comprehensive package. This includes parts, pilot training systems, long-term maintenance contract. The timeline for delivery is aggressive. First Gripen arriving for testing and evaluation in late 2027. First operational squadron ready by 2030. Full fleet replacing the aging CF-18 Hornets by 2035. A complete generational overhaul for the RCAF. The financial structure of the deal was a decisive factor. The Gripen offer came with a fixed price guarantee. That gave Ottawa budget certainty that was politically attractive. Canada had been burned by procurement controversies in the past. Presenting a clear final number to taxpayers was a major political win. $19 billion is an all-in cost to avoid sticker shock. It represents a long-term investment in a known and mature platform. The Gripen E is the latest and most advanced Swedish fighter. It features a new, more powerful General Electric F414 engine. The same engine family is used in the F/A-18 Super Hornet. That commonality simplifies logistics. It has an active electronically scanned array radar. It includes a sophisticated electronic warfare suite. It can carry a wide array of modern weaponry. Saab markets the Gripen as a smart fighter, designed for network-centric warfare, but able to operate independently if data links are jammed or unavailable. That resilient, decentralized approach resonated with Canadian defense planners. The acquisition process was a long, winding road. The competition officially began years ago. The political debate is much older. Canada was initially a partner in the F-35 Joint Strike Fighter program. Questions about suitability for Canada's northern territories were another. The government opened the procurement to a full competition. Final contest: Gripen F-35 Boeing Super Hornet. By choosing the Gripen, Canada has finalized one of its most significant defense procurements, setting a new course for its Air Force. The Canadian government has been careful to frame the decision in terms of national interest and capability. In a press conference following the announcement, the Minister of National Defense stated,
"After a rigorous, transparent, competitive process, we have selected the best aircraft for Canada."
The Gripen E meets the operational requirements of the Royal Canadian Air Force, provides the best value for Canadian taxpayers, secures thousands of high-quality jobs for Canadians.
This is a made-in-Canada solution for our sovereignty high Arctic.
The emphasis is on domestic benefits and a tailored fit for Canada's unique geography and needs. This official narrative focuses on fulfilling a promise to do things differently. The government repeatedly refers to the failed procurement of the past and highlights the fixed-price contract as a victory for fiscal responsibility. The message is simple: we got a better deal. The government defends against claims it sacrificed military capability, arguing the Gripen is the right tool for the job. They point to short field performance for remote Arctic airstrips and lower operating costs, allowing pilots to fly more hours and maintain higher readiness. However, defense analysts offer a more cautious perspective. One prominent analyst said, "This trades the highest level of allied integration for industrial perks and short-term cost savings." The Gripen is a fine aircraft, but it is not an F-35. In a high-end fight alongside U.S. forces, Canadian pilots would be a step behind in situational awareness. The long-term strategic cost of that interoperability gap has been downplayed for political expediency. This view captures the essence of the strategic trade-off. Experts say Canada may have solved a political problem and secured a good industrial deal, but created a potentially lasting strategic one. The core issue is the data network. The F-35's greatest strength is not stealth or speed, but its ability to absorb sensor data and share it across the force. Opting out of that ecosystem leaves the RCAF on the receiving end of translated information and filtered information instead of a primary network node. For a country whose defense hinges on its alliance with the U.S., this is a bold and risky divergence. For the Pentagon, Canada's Gripen purchase is more than a lost sale. It is a strategic disruption. The entire U.S. military strategy for the next half-century is built on a foundation of network-centric warfare, with the F-35 as its airborne quarterback. The plan was to have a vast fleet of stealth fighters, American and allied, sharing data in real time, creating a unified, overwhelming picture of the battle space. This digital cohesion was meant to be America's trump card against near-peer adversaries like China and Russia. Canada's decision creates a hole in that network, right on America's northern border. For over 60 years, NORAD has been the bedrock of continental defense, a seamless binational command where U.S. and Canadian forces operate as one. The introduction of the Gripen complicates this relationship. While the Gripen can and will communicate with American fighters, it is not a native speaker in the F-35's digital language. This creates a translation issue. In a crisis, where seconds matter, any delay or loss of fidelity in data sharing between a Canadian Gripen and an American F-35 or F-22 is a potential vulnerability. It weakens the once perfect integration of North American air defense. Beyond NORAD, the decision weakens the unity of the NATO alliance. The F-35 was meant to be the standard. United Kingdom, flying F-35. Norway, flying F-35. Denmark, flying F-35. The Netherlands, flying F-35. Italy, flying F-35. Poland, flying F-35. Logistics training joint operations. When a crisis erupts on NATO's eastern flank, a squadron of Danish F-35s can operate from a base in Poland, using the same ground equipment as the local Polish F-35s. Canada's Gripen fleet will exist outside this ecosystem. It will require its own unique support train, its own supply lines when deployed on NATO missions, adding a layer of logistical complexity. This sets a dangerous precedent. Other allies, watching Canada, may now feel emboldened to pursue their own non-F-35 alternatives. Nations in Eastern Europe. Nations in Southeast Asia facing budget pressures and seeking industrial benefits. Gripen KF-21 Rafale. The Pentagon's vision of a single unified Allied air fleet is fracturing. Instead of a standardized force, the future might be a patchwork of different platforms with varying degrees of interoperability. For U.S. military planners, this is a nightmare scenario that complicates everything from war planning to logistics, and it started with their closest ally. Canada's choice of the Gripen is a massive blow to the Pentagon's plans. It is not just about a single fighter contract. The decision demonstrates that even for America's closest and most integrated ally, the promise of total interoperability through the F-35 is not always the winning argument. National priorities. Industrial benefits raw cost can, and just did, take precedence. This sets a powerful example for other nations on the fence, potentially unraveling the F-35's intended role as the universal glue for Western military alliances. The immediate next steps for the Pentagon will be damage control. U.S. and Canadian military officials will work feverishly to bridge the new interoperability gap. This will involve developing new data links, new tactics, new training procedures to ensure that Gripens and F-35s can fight together effectively, especially within NORAD. It will be an expensive and technically challenging process, a patch to fix a problem that the F-35 program was designed to prevent entirely. Washington will also likely redouble its diplomatic and industrial efforts to keep other key allies from following Canada's lead, sweetening deals and stressing the importance of the F-35 network. For NATO, this marks the beginning of a more fragmented era. The dream of a standardized fifth-generation Air Force is over. The alliance must now plan for a mixed fleet, where some members have the full, networked capabilities of the F-35, and others operate highly capable, but technologically distinct 4.5-generation jets. This complicates everything, from logistics and maintenance during deployments to command and control in a fast-moving air battle. It places a greater burden on command staff to manage these different assets and ensure they can work together as a coherent force, rather than as separate, less effective parts. Ultimately, the Gripen deal is a signpost for a new, more multipolar world, one where even America's staunchest partners are asserting their own interests more forcefully. It is a measured but unmistakable statement that the era of automatic alignment with Washington's defense priorities is waning. Canada has made a big bet that the benefits of operational independence, lower costs, a stronger domestic industry outweigh the risks of moving out of lockstep with the United States. The Pentagon and the entire Western alliance will now have to adapt to this new North American reality. The sky has changed.